Hello, everyone. Can you hear me fine? You can chat directly just to make sure. Hello, Henrik. Hello, Minita. Thank you for your message. We're starting on time today, and thanks for the ones that are also on time. Always a pleasure to have you around those topics that are pretty interesting today. Um, we'll wait until 10:01 or 10:02 minutes just to make sure that most people are connected. I see the number of people rising. We are waiting for more than 200 people today for this trendy topic, the agentic commerce. I think it has been on everybody's mind for the past months, especially in e-commerce and retail. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's wait 1 minute. Morning, Igor, Laura. If you have any problem during the webinar, feel free to write in the chat so that we are sure everything's going perfectly on a technical aspect. Thank you for everyone to connect. I think we have people from all around the world today, from Europe, from Latin America, Middle East, and other countries. So always happy to do these international webinars since those topics are kind of worldwide topics. So it's already time to start to thank those who were on time. So I'm gonna briefly introduce myself. So I'm the co-CEO of Partout. I'm Thibault Renouf. We are two CEOs of Partout. We are both called Thibault, and I joined 9 years ago, and I'm in charge of all these topics of geo, agentic commerce, agentic web. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about new buying journeys enabled by agents. So the first thing, maybe to give you a bit more context, and I know there are many clients of Partout connected today, but it's still important to remind everyone the scope of products we're providing and the reason why we're speaking about this topic today. So basically the offer of Partout is structured around three modules. So we have visibility in blue, reputation in orange, and messaging in green. Regarding visibility, so the different product we have are called presence management, basically updating the information of local stores around the web, including Google Maps, Facebook, Apple Maps, Snapchat, TikTok, and others. We also have Store Locator. We will talk about it today because it has a strong local geo impact. We have social media, so we help our clients post online on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Google Maps, and so on. We have a second pillar around reputation, so basically review management, managing reviews on public websites, collecting reviews with Review Booster, sending surveys and NPS through feedback management, and we have a new product that is still being built, competitive benchmark and intelligence, basically comparing you to your closest competitor. And the last part, and that's also a topic that we'll cover today, is messaging. So basically we centralize all the messages from WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, SMS, missed call, and so on. And we also have the website chat that you can see on the slide. And all that is connected to an AI agent that we call Jim internally. And that also is linked to the topic of agentic commerce. So all these solutions are integrated in one platform that we provide to our clients. And we're quite lucky because we have around 1,300 brands working with us on those topics. They are all from different industry, banking, automotive, retail, or hotels, and so on. And you can see only 5% of our clients on this slide. But basically, we have clients all over the world, and we help them basically transform and adapt to the new buying journeys. And apart from our technology that we provide to them, I think one of the core value of Partout is curiosity. So we try to make sure that we are on top of all new subjects on all innovations. So that's the reason why I'm here today with you is to talk about what's going on. People are a bit afraid of AI, but I think the biggest change is in the way we interact with brands. So companies must understand what's going on in order to adapt in the long run. So that would be basically the core topic today. So the agenda, just to make it clear to everyone. So the first thing is we're going to try to define what agentic web is, because that's a concept that has been talked about a lot, but basically is not very precise for everyone. Then we're going to talk about agentic purchasing journey, agentic commerce, of course, which is the core of this topic today. We're going to see current use cases and 3 types of agents. So that will be what we'll cover today during this webinar. So the first thing is, can we define agentic web? So basically, if you want to define what agentic web is, you can say it's a web built for AI agents. But once you say that, you need to define what an AI agent is. So let's call it an entity that relies on AI models to make action within its environment, such as searching the internet or making purchase on an e-commerce website. So if I'm trying to explain that to my mother, for example, I'll make it even more simple. Chatbots, you can discuss with them. Agents, they can make action. So that's the main difference. So people were talking about chatbots, you can only discuss, like talk to them. But the difference between chatbots and agent is that an AI agent can actually take action. And we will see during this presentation that this action can be search on a website or make a purchase on your behalf. So that's the biggest change. So in this context, the agentic web is a web where an AI agent, it can be ChatGPT, it can be Mistral, it can be DeepSeek, Perplexity, Gemini. These agents act as the main gateway to information. So the way you interact with the web is actually through agents. And this is redefining the role of websites. And this is really important in this context. So let's make it very simple. So I'm trying to buy a new pair of shoes, and I'm going to ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask this question: which pair of running shoes should you recommend for running a marathon? And this question, when I'm on Google or Yahoo, I'll definitely go on websites. So I'll have blue links going on. And here, what ChatGPT is doing is actually ChatGPT is going on the websites for me. It's going on New Balance, on Iron, Adidas, Oka websites, and it's gathering and summarizing information to provide me with a carousel here that showcase the products and the pricing. So here, it's pretty easy to understand. I don't go on website anymore because the AI agent go on the website for me and provide me with product information that I need. And apart from France and China, sorry for if some French people are connected, but basically all over the world, you already have AI overviews. So AI overviews is a very similar concept. So basically you ask a question, and here we asked, what is AI overviews? And basically the AI is getting on websites to retrieve information that is summarized on the block that you can see. So this AI overview. So people don't need to click on the part to website on the right, which is a source of information used by AI overviews, and they just consume, they just read the information that is a summary, AI-generated summary, tailor-made to the question. So it's the same concept as ChatGPT here. So how does it work? Basically, you ask a question, what's part 2? The AI agents like Copilot, Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT go on a website page. They just go on the index of the internet, like Google or Bing, and they retrieve the information from the website. They generate a summary, and then they put it in the chat. So that's how it works. It's very easy. And for years, people have tried to differentiate what we call search engines. So these are the blue blue elements here. So you have Google, you have Bing, you have Yandex, you have Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, the others. That's the traditional search engines. And the other circle you can see are the conversational chatbots, like it used to be for ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, and Claude, for example. And back in the days, maybe 3 years ago, those chatbots didn't have access to internet. So they were only a chatbot you can discuss with, but they had no information on the current situation that is going on. But very soon, very early, they connected ChatGPT to the internet so that when you ask a question about news, you just have the accurate information. And on the other end, the blue traditional search engines integrated AI within their platform. And what we can see here is that there is a convergence of the two markets, which makes only one market. So ChatGPT is a direct competitor of Google today. And basically, we call that new space, which is the merger of those two, we call it generative engines. And this is actually very important to understand what we're going to talk about. So search engine, conversational chatbots, coming together to create a new space called generative engines. So the blue and the red, on the green gets the purple. So we choose those colors because I think it's I like colors. As you can see within the part 2 interface, we have a lot of colors. So I think it's for some people it's easier to see. So the blue is traditional search engine. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. Your objective here is to rank higher as your website rank higher. But the GEO is actually a different term that stands for generative engine optimization. So it's the same thing, but applied to generative engine. So the objective on the right is not to get your website ranked, it's getting your brand mentioned. Okay, so that's also very important stuff. On the left, it's a ranking. On the right, it's AI generated summary. And the way you work, SEO and GEO are not the same, even if SEO best practices actually are also GEO best practices, but the way it works is different, as we already explained. Now, I just want to take that very interesting quote from Demis Hassabis. So Demis Hassabis is the CEO of Google DeepMind. Basically, Google DeepMind is one of the best company in the world that was bought by Google. And Demis Hassabis sometimes is seen to be the future CEO of Google, is kind of the AI guy of Google. And he is talking kind of true and transparent, and actually said during a web conference that a web designed for agents no longer needs web pages. And that's kind of bullish. Like he said, we don't need website anymore. So based on that quote, I tried to explain how it was working and how it will work in the coming days. So you have a user that has a bit of money. He goes on a search engine like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. That's the whole way. So Google, Yahoo, and Bing will provide links. So you go on the search engine, you click on the links, and you arrive on a website user interface. And this website user interface is the way you consume the data of the web. So you just have an HTML page, you can click, you can read, and so on. So this was the old way. Now there is a new way to basically use internet is agents. So in this paradigm, you have a user that is discussing with an agent, and the AI agent is going on the website for the user. So the user doesn't have to go to the various website. So it's very important to see this, because it shows that the user will not go on the website anymore, because the AI agent is going on the website for them. And the AI agent will read the web database, but the AI agent doesn't need the HTML front end. It just consumes the data to provide accurate information to the user. So this is the basis of what's going on, and that's what we call agentic web. So this is actually exactly agentic web. So a web that is consumed through an agent. So today is not that the core topic of what we're going to talk about, but I think it's really important to understand this new paradigm. I've talked extensively about this topic. We organized a huge webinar. It's been seen more than 8,000 times in France, 500 times around the world, and it's basically summarized everything you need to know about the end of website and how it will impact your company. Regarding part 2 vision, our vision is pretty clear. It's to help retail network succeed in local GEO. So what we do is basically, there is a lot of queries you actually make directly on ChatGPT. that are local, like what supermarket would you recommend in Norwich is a local query because it has a local component. And if you're on ChatGPT, you'll discover there is a map and information about stores that are really important. And what we've seen is that there is a paradigm shift that is very, very important. AI agents, they drive recommendation. So if you look SEO, it's a ranking. We said it's a ranking. But if I want to buy flowers and I want to go to a store, basically I'll see the different stores and I'll look into the reviews and ask myself, is this the best one? If I talk to an agent, the agent would tell me, this is the best one, and I recommend you go there. So the agent is prescriptive. They push me to go to a place. So it's a very different paradigm, and it uncovered the question of free will. Should I always trust my agent to go to a store, for example? So now, when you ask a question, for example, could you recommend a restaurant for Saturday night? What is very interesting is when you're asking a question to an agent, they have the context and the memory of how many people you want to invite, what do you like, what do you enjoy, and based on your context, on everything they know about you from your previous conversation, they basically suggest place to go and products to buy. So the first way they can do is a comparison. A, if you prefer that type of product, B, if you prefer this type. The second is suggestion. I'd suggest A, you go to that restaurant, but you can also go to that place or the other place. And the third one is you go to that place. It's a great place. I know you very well because I've been talking to you for years and I know you will love that place. So recommendation is a big topic because if you're a brand and you're selling products that are not recommended by AI, you're basically transparent. You do not exist in this new paradigm. So that's what agentic commerce is about. And the key challenge for you, if you have stores, if you have locations, if you have products, is about data. Because the AI agent will provide you with suggestions based on the data they have. So if you say in your restaurant that you have great cocktails, or that you have a rooftop, or that you have happy hours, or if you have a parking, when people are asking questions, the more data you provide to the AI agent, the more they can recommend your product or your place to the user. So now we've been discussing GEO and this biggest change within part 2 for years now. And I've come up with a structure, I would say, framework that I wanted to share with you. And it will not be the biggest part of this presentation, but there is another webinar. So you will receive in the chat some links about the webinars, about the all things that you can go to after this presentation. So the first big part is structured data. So basically, the idea here is that if people do not come on your website, the agent will come on your website and they will need to read the information. So you need to structure the information. The second biggest pillar is omnipresence. So basically, the more presence, the more times your product or your brand or your store are mentioned in various places, the higher the chance the AI will recommend your information. And the last part is called social proof. Is about customer reviews, press coverage, all these things that are kind of proofs and are very important for the AI. So structured data is the first topic. So here you can see what an AI is watching when they read your website. They don't care about the color of your button, about the place, the user experience or whatever. What they only care about is the data that is within your websites and the way it's structured. So at part 2, we help stores network, like lots of store networks that have stores like AXA or Manpower, better structure their store locator so that the AI can retrieve easily the information so that their store are recommended to ChatGPT, Perplexity, on this kind of chatbot. So what we discovered is that the more you structure your websites, so for example, here you can see companies, Manpower, Superinterim, AXA, Matmut, and BNP, that are all various companies that are clients of part 2. and we help them better structure their store locator so that their store locator is better for AI to be able to retrieve the information. And this is the number of time their store locator is cropped by AI to answer to user. And what's crazy is that if you better structure your information, you'll rank higher in GEO. Please tell me if it's clear for you or if you want me to elaborate on anything. I don't see many messages in the chat, so feel free if you want me to extend a topic. It's always I'm always happy to get deeper on some topic if you need. The second topic we talked about is omnipresence. So basically, the most important thing is that you optimize your listings around various directories, including Google Maps, that you also publish information on online directories and key sector website. And the last part is social proof. So collect and manage Google Maps review, analyze all these, etc. So now we've talked about GEO. That was the introduction. It's already been 20 minutes. We've been discussing around that topic, but now we need to talk about agentic purchasing journey. So if you look at the kind of search you're actually doing online, you can divide them in two big categories. The first category is informational search. So how long does it take to boil an egg? When did Charlemagne died? What is an hybrid car? Here I'm always searching for information, and that's usually the kind of information I get through Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini. And you have the transactional search, like people trying to buy something, to subscribe to a service, to go to a place. So I want to buy a life insurance policy. I want to buy an iPhone. I want an order, a push share, or whatever. I want to buy something. And these two types of search are very different. And on the left, the search were more done on ChatGPT. On the right, it was more done on traditional search, but it's changing. Agentic purchasing journey, I'm going to try to define what it is. It's an online buying journey where an AI agent guides the user from information search to transaction. So you have to understand it's the whole process. The AI agent can suggest your product and buy it for you. And that's the whole thing. So I'm going to give you some example of agentic purchasing journey. So the first one is called Agentic Commerce, and that's the topic of today. So e-commerce purchase through an agent. But you can also have agentic booking. So booking a hairdresser, booking an hotel, a restaurant, an appointment with a mechanic or an insurance branch. You also have agentic order, like you want to take order, home delivery, you want to order a Uber or something like that. So you can go through a ChatGPT agent. And you also have agentic subscription, like taking out an insurance policy or those kind of stuff. Just to make it very clear how much impact this agentic buying journey can have, is a quote from Sam Altman. He said, actually, so Sam Altman is the CEO of OpenAI, so the company behind ChatGPT. He said, if ChatGPT shows you the best hotel, and if you book it with one click, taking the same cut any service world, that's probably okay. So basically, Sam Altman saying is going to take maybe 1% or 2% when you book an hotel through OpenAI. And if you compare that with Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, Agoda, Trip.com, which usually takes 30%, this is a earthquake in the industry because agentic booking is actually competition with OTA. So that's an example of how big it can be, because companies like Booking or Expedia are really, really big companies, and agentic booking may change the way they actually work. Let's take another example of agentic booking. So you want to go to the mechanic, you want to actually book an appointment because your car is broken. And how does it work today? So you basically have to type repair shop in Barcelona or in Berlin, and you have Google Maps providing you a mechanic around you, and you will basically click on each one and try to find a way to book an appointment or call them, and they will not answer the phone. So you'll have to read the review before that to know if they are good or that bad. So this will typically take you maybe 20 minutes to just find the right mechanic appointment for tomorrow, 2 p.m. What is interesting is that with agentic booking, you just ask, can you find a garage with availability near me on Saturday at 3 p.m.? And the AI will look into the agenda of all the mechanics around you that have good reviews and provide you with the availability and make you choose between the different mechanics. And once you say, I want to book this one, they'll book directly online for you. So this will typically take 5 minutes or 2 minutes or even 30 seconds. So you can understand how big is the difference between how we actually book hotels, restaurants, mechanics, insurance, and how it will actually be in the years to come. So the craziest thing is that Google is actually getting ready for agentic booking. We roll out Reserve with Google with part two. So if your company actually has booking engine and you want to provide the ability for AI to book, you should definitely contact us and ask for the discussion. So now it's been 26 minutes. Let's talk about agentic commerce. So we believe it's a new paradigm for e-commerce. Let's take a step back and understand the three phases of the evolution of e-commerce. So first, between 2006 and 2016, I would say that it was the merchant website era. So in France, we went from 20 to 200,000 websites for e-commerce. So everybody who said, if you want to be digital, you should build your own e-commerce website. And at the time, what was important was SEO, on-site conversion, product landing page. But then it was the era of marketplace. From 2016 to 2026, marketplace became the go-to places. So today in Europe, marketplace generates 60% of e-commerce. So most of big companies like Amazon or the others have benefited from this trend, making sure that a user can actually buy on different product at one place. So as a brand, you should sync your product information on many marketplaces to get as many customers as possible. But we believe that from 2026 to 2036, it will be the rise of agentic commerce, and the marketplace will most probably be replaced by AI agents. So in this context, the role of structured data, of making your data available through APIs, is the key success factor. So let's try to understand how it works. So what you need to understand is AI is moving up the purchasing journey. Back 2 years ago, the question you will ask would be informational, trying to understand what the best product. But agentic commerce is about transaction, making people pay through AI. So let's take the marketing funnel. So I know we have many marketing people connected today, and so let's try to match it with something you know. So this marketing funnel is 4-step: awareness, interest, decision, and action. So that could be the first step we would go through. So first, awareness. So you're asking ChatGPT or Gemini general information. How can I prepare for a marathon? So you just ask question that you just typically ask. But then you will go to Google. But sometimes you'll keep up with the discussion. So you consider a category. So how can I choose the right pair of shoes for the marathon? So the AI will provide you with a framework, and the user, you, will make the choice. You'll read the reviews, you will understand the information of the product, and so on. So you're just considering the category here. You're interested. And then there is a purchase decision. So I'm going to ask the AI, which brand will you recommend? Based on your context, what you know about me, what I've discussed with you. And AI is not only comparing, the AI is recommending. And that's a big shift, because internet never recommended any product to you. They will just showcase product and you will make your own choice. So free will is a big topic here. But let's look into this decision process a bit more deeper here. So first, the AI overview is a way to compare products. So I'm asking the difference between Switch and Switch 2, and AI overviews is getting information from various websites and comparing the two products. So it's very easy to understand, and we all use it, apart from the French people who don't have AI overviews, obviously. But let's take another way to purchase within Gemini, the Google AI. So you say, I want a facial cream, and basically I don't know what to choose. So you recommend we will try to ask Gemini to suggest some facial cream. And you can see on the left, there is some suggestion, and you will click, I want this one, I want this one, and I want this one. And then you'll ask, can you compare it for me based on what you know? So the AI will basically suggest a feature to feature comparison. So you can see the two creams, and they'll show you what's their strengths and what their weaknesses for each of the products. And then based on this, they will suggest and recommend you the best cream that is suited for your problem, on your context. And this is like crazy because it actually shows that the AI is changing the way we actually buy stuff online. And at Partout, we are really into one big topic which is reviews. You know, we help companies manage their online reviews. And what you need to know about reviews is that the reviews are the basis of what people think about your store, about your product, about everything. Here, I'm going to focus on the right part of this slides, comparison of establishments. So I want to go to restaurants. I always take the example of restaurants because it's easier to understand, but it could be real estate agencies or insurance companies or whatever. I want to go to a place with a rooftop and nice cocktails, and I'm going to basically ask the AI to suggest me some restaurants. And I can see here I have several restaurants, and I'm going to select two of them. And I'm going to ask the AI, which one would you recommend based on the things you know about me? And the AI, what will do the AI? It will read all the reviews, the Google Maps reviews about your store. And maybe there is a cockroach that has been seen in this restaurant 2 years ago, and that will surface. The AI will say, oh, I would not recommend you go there. So a lot of people said back 2 years ago, I don't care about the reviews because no one reads it. No one reads the review. They only look at the numbers, the rating, the number of reviews. But that is changing dramatically because AI is reading the reviews about your store. AI is reading the reviews about your product. And based on those reviews, it will recommend or not the product on the store you have. And this is the biggest shift because when people are making decisions online, they basically trust the context and the capabilities of the AI, and the AI is reading the reviews. So if you're interested in this topic, you can contact us and we'll discuss how we can help. Another way you can actually buy and suggest products is actually a Tinder-like experience. So you all know Tinder. You basically fill in your information here. I'll fill. So I want a laptop, a new laptop. So what's the size you want? What's the price you have? What the budget? What do you want to do with it? And so on. And then once you have answered the first questions, ChatGPT will suggest you laptops. So for example, this one, do you like it? Oh, not, I'm not interested. Or more like this. And then you'll see various laptops, and you'll definitely understand which one you want because you'll have ChatGPT and the AI provides you with the best solution. And once you've chosen the laptop you like, you can buy it directly through the agent. So the purchasing act is integrated within the AI experience, and that's live in the US. And you can actually I think you can test it in Europe. So once you have decided you want to buy it, the product, or go to that place or book this restaurant, you can let the AI do it for you. So can you place an order for me? Because the AI knows your address, maybe you fill in the credit card. So you just have to confirm the transaction within the conversation, and the AI will complete the purchase. And that's the crazy part. So if we take a step back and we say, traditional marketing funnel was awareness, interest, decision, and action, 4-step. And now this 4-step used to be in like 2 months or 1 month. Now everything is summarized in one conversation that can happen in 5 minutes. So this is crazy. The traditional way you're thinking about your business is changing, and the traditional marketing funnel is shrinking. So you need to prepare for that as soon as you can. And the craziest part is actually, and I'm not a big fan of that, of course, but tomorrow you may delegate your entire purchasing decision and journey to the agent. So you say, I'm running a marathon, buy me the right shoes. You know me, buy it for me. And the AI just do it for you. They place an order and you will receive the right shoes. So this is crazy. And this changes a lot for retailers. So then all the clients of Partout, they're always asking the same questions. Yeah, but that's futuristic. People will not like that an AI actually buys product for them. But actually, they will like it. And I'm going to try to explain why. So preparing this training, this presentation, I spend maybe 100 hours talking with people, specialists, reading comprehensive white papers of McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Profound, and many companies, and preparing that presentation that is 80 slides that I'll provide to you later. It's actually, at first, it was 160 slides, so I had to cut some slides off, but I'm going to try to summarize what I learned from these readings. So the first big idea is in the US, when you ask people, what is your preferred information source when searching for making decisions about a brand, a product, or a service? 44% of the US people actually start with generative AI engines. So agentic commerce in the way of looking for information and making a choice is already there. And 31% is through traditional search, so mainly Google, and then you have brand websites, review sites, social media, live commerce, and so on. So this graph shows that decisions start with generative AI. And so an important point is you have a company called Profound that actually published a very interesting case study that ChatGPT and AI agents have become the hidden engines behind customer purchase decision. And last Black Friday, around 30% of sales were influenced by AI. This is $22 billion influenced by AI on Black Friday. So meaning people making their choice, talking to Gemini, ChatGPT, and the others. And why do we say it's a hidden answer engine? Actually, on the right, you have a very interesting graph from this study. So the question is, once you have talked to ChatGPT, what do you do next? So that's the question. So they ask 1,000 people to do what they do all day long, but with a camera. So it's called eye tracking. So they look at what you do when you search for a product. And what they wanted to know is, what do people do after ChatGPT? So they usually close ChatGPT and they go to Google, they go to Amazon, they go to the brand website, they go to the physical location and others. So we have a lot of clients at Partout who tell me, I don't see any ChatGPT traffic coming, or I don't see any Copilot, any Claude or whatever. All my traffic's coming from Google, from Amazon, and from my own website. It's because people don't click into ChatGPT, they just open a new window. So you're just looking at the last attribution. So I'm going to read the comment of Profound on the left. So decision happen in answer engine, like what we call generative engine before, while transaction close in marketplace, brand sites, in-store, or through Google. In other words, AI powers discovery, while Google steps in for validation and last mile data. And that's what's going on here. So the question we usually have is, okay, the US, they are well ahead of us. So French, German, Spanish people, Italian people, they won't like this. So we asked in France, when you plan to make a purchase, do you use AI to research information? And what's crazy is that 25 to 34 years old, 60% search on AI in France before they want to buy a product. So this is massive. So especially in Europe, this is a growing trend. So now people tell me, okay, people use AI to search, but they will never let their credit card to an AI agent. That's what people say. So we asked, would you be willing to buy online directly through an AI without going through a brand website? And the figures are crazy. 61% of respondents said that they will agree to pay through an AI agent. directly. So this is what's going on. So now we've talked about the context, the GEO, the agentic web. We've talked about some studies. So it was pretty short, but I had to make some choice because we only have an hour. And now let's make it concrete. So we're going to talk about 3 types of agents that you need to know. So the first type of agent of the agentic commerce era is the on-site agent. So that's basically what we sell at Partout. It's a native AI agent dedicated on your website, on a marketplace. So it has a limited scope of action on your product. So it's actually an experience of agentic commerce on your site. Then we'll talk about operators. So operators is kind of an agent navigating the web for you autonomously and buying stuff. Okay. And the third actually type of agents, and that's actually the most interesting here, is the agent protocol. And we'll talk about how it works, what are the different protocol of agentic commerce, and so on. So let's dive in. So let's first start with on-site agents. So here it's a very simple thing is you integrate an AI-powered conversational experience in your website. So at Partout, we provide this kind of service. So you can see on the website of Partout, we have a chat. So live chat, SMS, WhatsApp, Messenger, you choose the channel you like. And once you are on the channel, whether it's WhatsApp or Messenger, you can definitely discuss with the brand. And the agent that you can see, it's the purple little character on the top, which is called Jim. At Partout, we call Jim, Gem. And basically that agent would take over the conversation and speak in any language and explain anything you need to know about the products and drive you through the journey on the funnel. So if you want to have a chat about this on-site agent and you want to try it, I think it's definitely worth a meeting if you want. And there are different types of on-site agents. So on the left, you have Galeries Lafayette, which is a French company with which provide carousel and stuff. You have a WhatsApp experience with using a Partout solution, and you have Amazon Rufus. So Rufus is an AI agent that you can find on Amazon that is actually using the reviews of Amazon products to answer your queries. And that's actually the GIM, conversational commerce AI, that you can use and contact us to discuss further. So the second type of agents is called operators, and I think this one is pretty interesting. So you may have heard about ChatGPT Atlas or Comet. Those browser are made so that an AI can take over your navigation and do it for you, buy some stuff for you. So operator means it operates on your behalf on the internet through the mouse and stuff. So Atlas, you can ask them to fill in your the thing you want to buy and stuff. The biggest shifts I've seen was the buy for me feature of Amazon. So it was already a year ago. Amazon released what we call the buy for me feature. So basically, on Amazon there are lots of products, but there are some products that are not on Amazon, right? They are on other platforms, some e-commerce website. They don't want to let their product on Amazon because they consider it's a competitor. So imagine I'm going on Amazon and I don't find the product I want. So there is a solution for that. Basically, Amazon will showcase your product and you have to click on buy for me. And when you do that, you have an agent operator that will go on the e-commerce website of the marketplace of the e-commerce website that is not on Amazon and buy it for you. So you'll provide the responsibility of this AI agent to go online and buy that stuff for you, so that Amazon will be able to provide any product online, whether it's already in their catalog or it's not. So that's crazy. It's just said, okay, you can buy anything in Amazon. So that was in April 2025. And in May 2025, when I thought, ooh, Amazon is doing something great, actually Google launched another stuff. So it's basically the same thing. It's called buy for me. And you select a product And then the innovation is quite crazy. You target a price. You say, I want that bag for that price. And the AI, Google AI, alerts you whenever that product is on sales on any platform for that price. And you just say, I want to buy it, and it buy it for you. So that's crazy. It's just saying you can place an order on the internet saying, I want that bag for that price. And whenever it goes, you just buy it. So that's another innovation that I think is very interesting. The craziest thing here is that if operators um, act on the behalf of users, then there is no the e-commerce websites are no longer useful in the way they actually provide um, uh, information about products, because you can imagine that the productor, like the person that actually produced the good, will put it on the internet, and the agent will actually buy it on that place, because you don't need to have everything at one place. So this actually is a changing everything we know about e-commerce. So I think it's important not to freak out, but at least to get to know how it works, to better understand it in the long term. So that's operator. Now we're going to talk just one point about operator. Uh, there is a lot of cybersecurity problems, because you can have the operator going on a website, and you can have a prompt that is written on the website that you don't see it on white and white, and basically it take over your computer and do messy things. So that's why we're not talking much about it today, because there are too many security breach about operator. And that's why agent protocol comes in. Agent protocol is the next big thing. So the idea here is to develop a system to make people buy stuff online with security protocol. So the first one was actually done by ChatGPT, and you have another one that you may have heard of, is UCP, Unified Commerce Protocol. It was launched by Google at the late NRF. NRF is a big event about retail. So Google started by announcing this use agentic protocol, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to get into the agentic protocol of ChatGPT first, and we'll deep dive. So the way it works for ChatGPT is called instant checkout. Instant checkout is, I find a product, I like it, I buy it, I check out. And this is called ACP. So ACP, Agentic Commerce Protocol, is ChatGPT. UCP, Unified Commerce Protocol, is Gemini, Google. So you can see here, click in, pay, and that's the end. So how does it work? Actually, the Agentic Commerce Protocol is bringing together three components. The first component is ChatGPT, which is an AI agent. The second component is the merchant, the e-commerce merchant, Shopify, but it could be any e-commerce website. And the third component is the payment provider, Stripe, but it could be any payment provider. So whenever you think about agentic commerce, these are the three components: AI agents, merchants, payments. So let's make it very simple. So the conversational agent is the interface where users search for products and complete their purchase. So it can be Snapchat tomorrow, TikTok, WhatsApp, Facebook, Gemini, Claude, whatever. Then you have the e-commerce merchant. So it can be your e-commerce platform. If you are selling product online, it can be Shopify, it can be it can be Google Shopping or whatever. And the e-commerce platform that hosts product data and records the order. So you still the merchant of record, as we call it. And then you need a PSP, a payment service provider, because the payment system that needs to securely process the transaction between accounts. You don't want people to buy stuff and they don't have enough money on their account, because this would be a problem, right? So you need someone that makes sure that the money goes through, and that's the payment system. And here I've made that slide very quickly. Basically, you have example of agents. You can see Amazon, you can see Facebook, you can see also Google, of course, that has its own protocol. Then you have e-commerce websites, Shopify, Magento, Wix, Vinted, all these companies. And then you have payments like Adyen, PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Amazon Pay, and so on. So these are the three pillars of agentic commerce. How does it work? So basically, you have a user. The user clicks buy. Then the agent send the information to Shopify. Shopify exposes an endpoint, which is called agentic checkout, and he answers, "It's available." And then the user says, "I want it delivered at my place." It calculates the price. The price is sent to the payment, and then the payment is charged. And basically, this is exactly the documentation that I found on this protocol. So I just changed the color because I like colors. I just try to make it simple for you to better understand it. But this is how it works precisely. And it works the same for UCP, for Google thing. And in the US, you have a company, it's called Instacart. Instacart is a company that basically help people, American citizen, buy their grocery online. So they don't go to supermarket anymore. They just buy stuff online. And they're integrated with ChatGPT. So you can ask, can you buy the classical stuff for me for this week? And the AI agent will place an order for you on your behalf on Instacart so you get delivered with the right stuff. And Nick Turley, with the head of ChatGPT at the time, he said, this is another step toward realizing our vision, an AI that offers genuinely useful recommendations and connect directly to real-world services, saving user time and efforts in their everyday life. So you have to think it as a new acquisition channel for all e-commerce website. And the deals about Amazon, I did that slide previously before ChatGPT raised $110 billion a few days ago. So this is not relevant. And Google, you can find a lot of articles about Google Agentic Commerce Protocol, UCP, and we can talk about it later if you need. So now all our clients, they're all asking the same. What should we do? It seems interesting, but it's very scary, and at the same time, it's a bit confusing. So the first thing you need to do is structure your data. A lot of companies, they don't have clear data about their product, about their stores. They don't have a clear store locator. They don't have a clean product landing page. The first thing you need to do is structure your data, because the AI works on data. So that's basis. What are your data? Are they clean? Are they updated? And so on. And we can help on the location part, so your stores. The second thing you need to do is improve and monitor your reputation. I'm saying that to you, but I'm actually applying to Partout as well. Partout monitor its G2 reviews, the reviews we have on softwares, because we know that AI will look into the reviews that are left by our customers online. And if you are a customer of Partout and you like what we're doing, please leave us a review on G2, because it actually impacts our GEO. And the same way, you should do that for Google Maps, because Google Maps is at the core of the reputation you have online. So the second thing you need to do is monitor your reputation. The third thing is you need to track your geo positioning. And on that topic, I can recommend a very nice tool that we're using. It's called Meteoria. I'm just sending it to you in the chat right now. It's a French company, but they operate worldwide. And basically, the idea here is that they will help you track your positioning on ChatGPT, Perplexity, and AI agents, so that you better understand where you position when asking a prompt. So, for example, you ask every day what the best orange juice in the world, and you see if it's Tropicana or Andros or any juice, and you're basically able to compare to your competition. So tracking your geo positioning is the first start. And the last part is test conversational experience. So you need to test AI through WhatsApp or through your website, live chat, and so on. And if you're interested in that topic, you can definitely reach out to us to discuss that. You have my email. You can contact any person at Partout. I think it's important to discuss those topics. And we are really committed in making sure that you're aware of all these topics, that you have all the information you need to navigate this uncertainty. I just, if you like this webinar, I'm doing another one about GEO, which will be in the 25th of March. So if you liked it, just copy paste the link, register, and share it with friends or colleagues, because it's always a pleasure to share what we learned during this investigation. And as the CEO of Porto, it's my role to provide you more accurate knowledge. Do you have any? So if you have questions, of course, we'll go back to the questions that I've had. Let's. So, a few questions. So if you have questions still, you can ask them directly in the chat. The first question was, what will be a new metric instead of return on ad spend? So return on ad spend, so ROAS, is basically ROAS, sorry, is basically a metric to monitor ads. So it will stay the same. The ROAS will still be the same. Because the ads will be in ChatGPT, are already on ChatGPT. They will still be on Google. So the return on ad spend metric will not change. The thing that will change is that you will not rank your websites, but you will calculate the number of mentions that you have. The other question was, how can we create content, FAQ blogs, that is discoverable by AI to drive GEO? So that's another topic. So it's actually the core of the webinar that I'll be doing on the 25th. But to make it simple, if you want to provide the AI with qualitative content, you need to make it dense. So a lot of people, when AI arrived, said, oh, I've these 2 paragraph, I send it to AI and ask, can you make it a 2-page article? So if you want GEO, you need information density. So when you write articles, ask yourself, is it dense in terms of information, or is it diluted? If it's diluted, AI will not like it. So you're still more than 50 people connected after a few questions. It's been an hour. If you have feedback, if you like it, please say it in the chat. We'll provide you with the webinars replay. And of course, we'll send the presentation to you in the coming hours or days. Thank you so much, and we'll keep in touch. Feel free to reach out. Have a great day.